Compuverde is a completely software-defined storage solution that gives you extreme performance, a scale-out architecture, and complete unified storage to match your every need. All this functionality regardless if you've configured Compuverde to run in bare metal or hyper-converged mode, resulting in a US and worldwide patented proposition suitable for both private data centers and cloud setups. Setting up a storage solution with Compuverde, you will get the entire software stack with storage layer and own virtual file system, multiple protocol integration, and hypervisor support. The architecture is based around two values, being symmetrical and clean, because if you're not doing the architecture right, you won't have the necessary foundation for your storage journey onward. And as the solution is completely hardware agnostic, Compuverde could run on high-performance specifications just as well as on hardware geared toward capacity and potential energy consumption requirements. Most players in the data storage industry are for their storage layer using more or less static solutions, where the algorithm dictates on which servers to store data, with the result that you will have many issues with congestion and unwanted hotspots. Compuverde's patented technology solves these issues, while at the same time delivering greater elasticity than otherwise would be achieved. With this technology, data write patterns are intelligently dynamic, and depending on variables, data can be placed in the most suitable tier. Policies can be set on individual files, and based on runtime statistics, a smart choice of servers for read and write is applied, avoiding these otherwise potential data hotspots. Also, as Compuverde is providing a truly self-healing solution, telecom-graded storage reliability and availability is provided. Compuverde is of course supportive of copies of data, but the fact that the software also fully supports erasure coding has the effect of a dramatically reduced data footprint in your storage solution. Compuverde has created a new virtual file system spanning over all nodes in your cluster, allowing you to access data from all servers simultaneously, even across protocols. Traditionally, it is more or less standard to store metadata on separate and sometimes even single servers. Within Compuverde's virtual file system, the same metadata is instead stored as objects in the storage layer itself, having a very positive effect on scalability, performance, and reliability. And by using the same redundancy methods for metadata as for user data, a less complex and much more robust architecture is achieved. Compuverde takes full advantage of systems with flash devices, using them as cache and improving performance significantly. But in addition to this, you can maximize your performance through the full support for all flash systems that Compuverde provides. When a user reads or writes data, the data is first stored in the local cache, then replicated across multiple nodes before the data is destaged from the cache to the persistent storage layer. And as previously mentioned, to ensure redundancy, Compuverde supports copies of data for the smallest setups and erasure coding for setups of up to hundreds of nodes. When it comes to accessing your solution, Compuverde has created an own implementation of all major protocols, including for instance SMB, NFS, OpenStack, Amazon, and iSCSI. In some competitors' storage solutions based on open source, there is a risk that the nodes in the setup are not fully synchronized, with the effect that what is written to one node is not accessible immediately from the other nodes in the cluster, but eventually consistent. The two pieces of the puzzle, the virtual file system and the protocols, do simply not fit properly. For Compuverde, no good enough scenario based on open source software or similar is accepted. And the fact that Compuverde has developed all protocol software used in the solution, bringing the protocol layer much closer to the virtual file system, while at the same time delivering the best compatibility towards protocol specifications, has the effect that Compuverde's solution is strictly consistent. Recent tests show that Compuverde's integration has extremely high levels of compatibility with SMB compared to Samba, which is used in all Linux distributions, a setup that almost all of Compuverde's competitors are using when providing the SMB protocol to their customers. In order to get conclusive facts, Compuverde has been running tests using the benchmark software Spec SFS 2008, all with the following results. With these numbers, Compuverde is matching the performance of the top product from the storage industry's dominant player running on similar hardware. Today, there is big demand for hyper-converged solutions, many of these being based on block-based SAN technology, meaning that you, when you're investing in a hyper-converged solution today, are getting a system likely to completely lack native support for a virtual file system, having the effect that most setups delivered by competitors are not able to share files between different virtual machines. Moving all storage together with the processing and basing it all in a virtual NAS setup, Compuverde has developed a hyper-converged solution. A solution that has all the functional benefits of a traditional NAS environment, but with compute and storage converged in the same layer, delivering much greater flexibility. Compuverde is then running as a virtual machine within the host computer and is given ownership of the physical disks. The guest virtual machines are using Compuverde as storage for their own VM images, with each machine being in contact with the virtual file system in Compuverde through the NFS or SMB protocol. With Compuverde, you are also able to work with these files and documents from any virtual machine as well as share files and documents between them. When a file is created by one virtual machine, it is also available from any other virtual machine in the cluster, using the shared file system that Compuverde is providing. With this and the fact that multi-tenancy is supported, Compuverde is allowing for a fully VDI-compatible environment. Regardless if your setup is using VMware, KVM, or Hyper-V, Compuverde will with ease utilize each hypervisor in an optimal way. And even if Compuverde already today is providing a great and flexible solution, improvements and additions are added continuously. The roadmap is consistently being updated, and the next major release includes the implementation of hybrid cloud functionality. Hybrid cloud is, per definition, a solution that combines in-house storage with private or public cloud services. A majority of cloud solutions today are based on object store technology, something that means they are all lacking support for virtual file system. This creates issues when you're trying to combine in-house and cloud storage. You will simply not be able to work seamlessly with your data in the cloud in the same way as you would do locally. There is no virtual file system offering a unified view of both your local presence and the cloud environment. But with Compuverde's upcoming hybrid cloud solution, you will get something these competitors today are not delivering. You will, with Compuverde, get a proper virtual file system, spanning over your local presence as well as your private or public cloud service, all built directly into the hybrid cloud setup. This will give you the great benefit of being able to work locally as well as through the cloud, creating a uniquely competitive edge toward other industry players. A completely unified view of your data. Global by demand, Swedish by design.